And speaking of future installments, aside from the Step Brothers series, do want to ask each of you these questions here because in all of your catalogs of music, you do have other series and other installments. And wondering for those in the audience that are fans of you two individually here, are there any plans for future installments? So, I'd like to start with you here, Starlito, since you spoke last. At War with Myself 2 was the last installment. Any plans for anything in the future of just that series itself?
Yeah, I plan on doing an At Peace with Myself, which would be a continuation of that series. At War with Myself was originally released in 2011. I think it was the project prior to Step Brothers 1. And then At War with Myself 2 dropped in 2018. And yeah, I'm closer to a headspace of like peace, inner peace, more resolve, almost a polar opposite of where I was when I dropped that first one. And I would consider that a part of that series because it's just, like I said, progression of time and evolution, growth. I hope to not have to make another At War with Myself because it's my best / worst enemy. And I don't want no problems with that dude.
Starlito's way forward, Get Out. Is there plans for a fifth?
Damn, yeah, I guess now you putting it out there. I won't say plans, but that's a
idea.
Yeah, that is it. That's an idea. Something I saw like Lil Wayne dropping the Carter 6 soon. Like, I feel like you find your Hallmark series. Maybe that's the one because that series kind of started my rebrand or renaming myself at a point in my career. So yeah, perhaps. I ain't been able to think too much past the Step Brothers project. It's been my focus here recently, and I'm just kind of on that. But yeah, maybe so. You probably just gave me something to put on my vision board.
And last question on this vision board, there was 2 projects, Cold Turkey, Fried Turkey. I don't know if that was considered a series of itself or a sequel to that, or is there any plans with?
Right, cold cut turkey.
I'm pescatarian now, so
it's gonna be this next one gonna be baked fish.
Nah, that was kind of was what
so
it was. I did hot chicken, and although I didn't look at that as a series. I did consider it like it was poultry, and it had an adjective before the poultry, so it fit on some branding things, but they weren't like really connected. That intentionally correlated or connected. Same with cold turkey and fried turkey. It was just me just being me in terms of branding. Cold turkey was pronounced as a theme. Didn't have shit to do with turkey. It had to do with me disconnecting, quitting, breaking, you know what I'm saying, some habits and things and trying to reformat. Like, music is therapy. A lot of times it's a means for me to try to set myself straight and share that experience with the like-minded or people that it appealed to. So the premise of that was like, you need to quit bullshitting, cold turkey. Like, it's, one of the songs we had together on there, No Reviews, difficult starting over, it's better than going backwards. It's like so much soul searching within my music or affirmations, or a lot of my music is made in the mirror, like stylistically. I'm talking to myself. If it makes sense or resonates with you, that's a bonus. But Cold Turkey was that, and then the success of it, because that was the first project I did with Empire Distribution. It charted on Billboard. It far exceeded my expectations for it. I was about to put it out for free as a mixtape, and that kind of changed the game for me, like professionally, or I was able to see my music had more value in a commercial space than even I could have imagined. And the hustler in me was like, shit, it worked. I'm coming back. Thanksgiving, I dropped Cold Turkey right around 4th of July, and we dropped Step Brothers 2 in October. And before we finished Step Brothers 2 and we're going on tour with Kevin Gates at the time, I turned in Fried Turkey. I'm like, when we get out this tour and, you know, finish with the immediate release of Step Brothers 2, I'm coming right back with another solo project, Fried Turkey. So it was titled that because I was dropping on Thanksgiving as much as anything. It wasn't a true, like, sequel to Cold Turkey. I was just, like I said, hustling, and a lot of times even with our stuff, like, we just try to make dope shit. We'll figure out what to call it later.
True.
So, yeah. And then Hot Chicken was a Nashville-centric project, because that's Nashville Hot Chicken has gone global, and it started on my side of town. It started on East Nashville with Prince's Hot Chicken, his favorite restaurant, actually.
Indeed.
And so we had gone on a 43-city tour with Step Brothers 3, and so many places we went, I'm seeing signs. We had like little bar spots and places that got Nashville Hot Chicken, like we in fucking Oregon somewhere, and I'm like, damn, this shit is everywhere. And it's, like I said, it started on Ewan Drive, started down the street from where I'm from, and light bulb went off for like, damn, we're taking this music that started in East Nashville, for me, nationwide, just like this recipe, if you will. Even though most places doing it wrong, and it's not really they just making chicken that's hot. It's more of a brine and a batter than a sauce. But so I'm like, I want to take this Nashville stuff. I want to do almost a compilation style project, which was big, you know, in my like youth, teenage, adolescent. I can remember several compilations that was like, I got put on to different artists because I wanted to hear Master P, but he had 15 artists on this compilation. I remember like Down South Hustlers, several, we was talking about the Blackout Squad project.
Rough Riders compilation.
Yeah, things like that. So I was doing Hot Chicken as a Nashville-centric project. I had like over 10 Nashville artists featured on that project. And so again, Cold Turkey, Fried Turkey, and Hot Chicken. Not so much a series, but yeah.
Got it. And answering questions here for the fans that might not knew if that was a series or not, and so on and so forth. On this vision board of your own, Don Tripp, wanted to ask you about these 3 items here. The last installment was Christopher Season 4. Any plans for more?
1, I don't have a vision board. 2, I don't know. I don't think that far ahead when it comes to the art. I just let it, whatever happens, happen. I don't know. I guess it would be the most contingent on me having another picture of me and my brother from our childhood. That would probably be the most. It would probably depend the most on that.
In the meantime, too, that was the last installment there.
When the hell was that?
I can look that information up very quickly here. In the meantime, too. (2016).
Well, I don't know. That would be tricky. You know, I wouldn't want to weigh the risk of doing a third installment, considering how many new people have tagged along since 2016. I wouldn't want you to feel like you're out the loop. You know, you're in the meantime 3. And you just heard of me last week, and you're like, what the hell where's 1 and 2? I never knew these existed. So probably not from 2016. Yeah, I probably wouldn't continue something from that far back.
And probably gauging that answer with this next question, but Terminator 2.
Oh, no, it won't be a Terminator 3, because I didn't like Terminator 3, the movie. So probably not a Terminator 3.